Grand Risings, Grand Risings. Welcome back, people. Peace and blessings and good energy to everyone who can view this. Hope everybody had a good weekend. And yeah, I'm gonna jump right into it. What are non-humans? And are they among us? Short answer, a non-human is someone that wears a human appearance or someone whose energy is not of a human frequency. All right, so let's touch on the first one. A human appearance. All right, they look human, they walk human, but there's just something off about them. There's just something that something's not right, and you can see that when when they either interact with you, which most of them won't, or when you see them either in the corner of your eye doing something, and when you adjust your field of vision to that or to their direction, they're gone, or they're doing something completely different. So it's kind of like a mind game. The second part, the human frequency, the human frequency is generally like you're going to a library, or you're going to a store, or even if you're walking on the street, to your bus stop, or you're walking in the mall, you're walking amongst humans. Everything feels normal, like you don't feel like anything is off, except when you walk by one person and they're off. And I mean, their whole feel is off. And for those who are sensitive enough, the hairs in the back of your neck start rising, the goosebumps start appearing on your skin. You might even get like a whoa, like a chill, like what was that? Or better question, who was that? And those individuals are a little bit more easy to describe. So I'll start with those since we're already on that topic. Those individuals, all right, you hear about them all the time throughout the world. Someone whose essential vibe is off, and the reason why their vibe is off is because their energy is either being manipulated by another energy, or their frequencies are just off. All right. Now, yeah, there's a bunch of people who will probably jump into the comments saying, hey, what if they have like a mental illness? And you will not be incorrect. All right. Our society today would absolutely 100%, oh man, label these individuals with a mental illness. And you know what, for the most part, sometimes they're right, sometimes they're not. A good example of that is, throughout history, we have mental asylums. All right. Now, in these mental asylums, you have people who claim to be seeing ghosts, demons, and quote unquote the end of the world happening in front of their, playing on their TV set. Okay, well, let's be clear. From the beginning of when mental institutions were created up until even now, where people are, for lack of a better word, stuck in their head. All right. I don't think, and this is my personal opinion, that everyone who claims to be seeing the end of the world, claims to be seeing demons, claims to be seeing, if you want to call them that, aliens walking around and, are going nuts, all of them can't be lying. All of them can't be lying. It wouldn't make sense. What is probably happening is, and I believe we have the technology to understand this, it's just not public. But anyway, conspiracy time. A non-human energy type has attached itself to this person. You can call it possession, call it what you want. But whatever the case is, this person's frequency was probably, defense frequency was probably not as strong as it should have been. Excuse me. And this energy was able to take over. And it happens. And when that energy takes over, there's no telling what they'll do. All right, they're pretty much, you know, have a quote unquote blackout episode and won't remember anything. All right, we'll touch back on that in later videos. Now, the other description, the actual physical, non-human. All right, let's crack some eggs. These people are normally always in constant travel. They're in the airports, they're at the bus station. Sometimes they'll get into an Uber cab. Sometimes you'll see them in some, you could pretty much see them anywhere in like a major city in a transportation hub, because that's just where they are, you know? Now, what do they look like? They look like an artificial human. Like right now, we're in the technology phase where we're seeing cyborgs being created. I'm sorry, not cyborgs, robots being created that look essentially human. These people look a little too human, and it's not makeup. It's not, you know, they're on a no sugar diet and they drink, Arctic water or anything like that. No, no, these individuals, they're not from here. They're not. And I'm not saying they're from another planet, but they're just not from here. I don't know where they're from. All right. But what happens, especially with psychonauts, all right, they know if you're awake or not. They know if your third eye is active or not, because once they feel that vibration, their attention, their attention is set on you. All right, I've seen a bunch of them. I've met one of them, and it was the creepiest. It was creepy, and the only reason why it was creepy is because, you know, when I was at the time, I was probably around 26, and I'll never forget it. I was at JFK Airport, and this woman approached me, did not look normal at all, and every cell in my being was telling me to be careful. And she just said, "I like your vibe," you know, and I said, "Thank you." But then her eyes just started like shimmering, you know, and I jokingly said, "You're not from around here, are you?" And she looked at me and said, "No, but I'll be leaving soon." And I said, "Fair enough." I took 2 steps back. I walked away. I was heading to my gate, and I looked back. She was gone, you know. And ever since that episode, that meeting, that encounter, you know, you know, I've just looked out for, you know, people like that. Like I didn't get scared. I got more so cautious. Like, hey, I really need to be out here, you know, verifying if I'm talking to a human being or not. And in 2024, you might not be. You may not be talking to a human being. And you really have to use your own understanding to, you've got to be open, but guarded and cautious. Spotting them, you might spot them. If you're in tune, you can spot them. You can feel their vibe, and you'll be able to be in tune. You'll be able to, by the time you're that good with knowing yourself and knowing people and knowing the vibe and frequencies, you'll be able to look and say, you know what, that's not a human being. And the second question, well, the second part to that is, well, why are they here? Nobody knows why they're here. Only they do. I have hypotheses, you know, but we can talk about that at another time. So yeah, they're not human. The physical ones, they're definitely from someplace else. The non-human frequencies, yeah, they're a little bit more, there's a lot more of them in society, I'll say that, in various areas of, you know, job, in a job field, they're all over the place. You'll hear about them. A lot of them, unfortunately, are from a lower vibration, so, you know, they promote violence, and they provoke violence, they provoke bad vibes, they live to be Debbie Downers, because for whatever reason, they're just not happy. I've never seen a non-frequency person, a non-human frequency person that had good vibes. Just never happened. Anyway, guys, that's my time. Definitely speak on this topic again. Third Eye out. Please like, share, and subscribe.